Hello, everyone. This is David. Today, we're going to be talking about NACPB Bookkeeping Job Program. Get a bookkeeping job. By way of introduction, if you want to get a bookkeeping job, there just isn't a better way to get a bookkeeping job than from NACPB's Get a Bookkeeping Job program. Now, as far as NACPB was founded in 2006 by a leading national CPA firm. NACPB's parent company is Consortia Small Business Accountants. Consortia provides bookkeeping, payroll, accounting, and tax services to small businesses throughout the United States. NACPB education, certification, training, experience, and support are all modeled after the CPA profession. Now, speaking of the CPA profession, let me take one moment to give you an idea of where we're coming from as far as our program. In the CPA profession, if you want to go on and become a CPA, you have to have a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. Then you also have to have a one-year master's degree in accounting, or what's referred to as a MAC, a Master's of Accountancy. Then you have to pass the four-part CPA exam. And then you have to have 1 year of accounting experience, but not just experience, but you have to have that experience under the supervision of a licensed CPA. You have to also pass the CPA ethics exam. And then once you obtain your license, you're required to have 80 hours of continuing professional education, or CPE, every 2 years. Now, once you become a CPA, what that typically means, like for example, if you just got an accounting degree, then you can pretty much go anywhere and do accounting. And typically for a large company, a nonprofit organization, a small business, whatever the case may be. But if you go on to become a CPA, then what you're saying is you want to serve in the public accounting industry, thus CPA, Certified Public Accountant. And you're going to work for one or two organizations. You're either going to work for a local CPA firm who provides accounting to the public, services to the public, or you're going to work for one of the national or global Big Four accounting firms providing accounting services to national and global organizations. Either way, this is how you develop your experience. So in other words, you've just gone through what we explained. You got your degree, you got your graduate degree, you passed the exam, and you're now ready to, you pass the exam, and so you're now ready to get your experience working for a licensed CPA. And so again, whether if it's a local firm or a national firm, the way it works is that you start at the bottom. So this is the accounting firm professional hierarchy, that is the actual services division. So the point being made is that when you come out, you'll start as a junior professional. In other words, you've got the education, you've got the theory, you passed the exam and proven yourself, and so now you're going to get some actual hands-on experience. And so you're going to be supervised by what's referred to as a senior professional. Now keep in mind that a senior professional once was a junior professional, but they spent 1 to 3 years under the tutelage of a senior professional, and they graduated or were elevated to a senior. And now when you're brand new, again, you're educated, you've proven yourself, now you get the hands-on experience by working under a senior professional, no matter if it be audit work, tax work, accounting work, whatever the case may be. Okay, now to understand that, that's in a sense the way we work. Okay, and let me explain a little further. So as far as Consortia Small Business Accountants, number one, NACPB Bookkeeping Job Search Program participants are directed and supervised by Consortia accounting managers. Number two, Consortia Small Business Accountants hires bookkeepers. Number three, Consortia hires 1 out of every 8 bookkeeping program graduates. And number 4, Consortia helps small businesses find bookkeeping employees. So let me address each one of those very quickly. So first of all, when I say NACPB Bookkeeping Job Search Program participants are directed and supervised by a Consortia accounting manager, it's what I was talking about when you become a junior and you're trained by a professional, or in other words, a senior, somebody who's been doing it for 2 or 3 years. So that's what we're saying here. When you work within our program, you're constantly being supervised and directed by one of our experienced accounting managers. Now, two, when I say Consortia Small Business Accountants hires bookkeepers, what we're saying is this is a job placement program. We're helping you to get a bookkeeping job. So with this, we're saying that we hire bookkeepers. And so in other words, we know exactly what people are looking for when they're hiring bookkeepers. And so when we train you to get a bookkeeping job, we do so based on our experience and knowing when we hire people, who do we look for? Who do we hire? Why? So on and so forth. So that's all built into the program. And then when I say number three, Consortia hires 1 out of every 8 bookkeeping job program graduates, that's literally true. In other words, we constantly hire bookkeepers. And so we're looking for bookkeepers. And so to be totally honest with you, what we do is we look at the people who have gone through our programs and we hire the absolute best candidates. So as we need people, again, typically 1 out of 8, as we need people, we go back and review how did they do in the courses? How did they do on the exams? How quickly did they pick up on things? How many questions do they have to ask us? Did they follow instructions? That type of thing. So when we work with somebody, we've gone through their education, we've gone through their certification, that is how they did, and we actually are the ones who actually oversee them, of course, within the actual experience. And so then from those people, when we hire people from that program. And again, it's always the best candidates. Okay. And number 4, when I talk about Consortia helps small businesses find bookkeeping employees. And so obviously we're constantly looking for clients. We provide bookkeeping, accounting, payroll, and tax services. So we're constantly looking for clients. Now, we constantly advertise that we provide bookkeeping services. And so when we provide services, we always tell people that, again, we work for small businesses. We're saying, look, we're here to do the absolute best we can. We want to do what's best for you. As a small business owner, you have to have your books done. And so you have 3 ways to get it done. You can do it yourself, which we don't recommend because, first of all, you haven't been trained. You have no experience, okay? Or you could hire an employee, or you could outsource. So if they want to outsource, then of course we, Consortia, perform the services for them. Now, on the other hand, we constantly have people who say we prefer to hire an employee. No problem. We don't care. So then what we do is we connect them with people who have gone through our program. What's nice about this is that they know up front that it's going to be remote work. One of the problems when you get involved in online searches, oftentimes they ask the people looking for a bookkeeper, are you okay with remote bookkeeping? And sometimes, if not many times, they're not. They prefer to have somebody there. On the other hand, when we work with our clients, we work with them on a national basis. And so they know that everything we do is done remotely. And so they're fine with somebody who does remotely. And so that's, again, another way we assist you when you are in these programs. Okay, so what do bookkeeper employees want? Number 1, they want job candidates who possess and can perform the bookkeeping skills, experience, and procedures they've communicated. So as they put a job description out there, they're specifically telling you, this is what we're looking for. We want this level of education. We want this level of certification. We want this level of experience. We want people who have experience doing this and this and this in this particular industry, so on and so forth. And so one of the things we teach people is don't ever apply for a job that you're not suited for, because that's the most important. You're totally wasting your time if you're applying for a job and you don't have the skills or the experience to do the job. It's just a waste of time, and you're wasting their time. And so whenever you see a job description, be very, very specific. When you read it, be detail oriented. What exactly are they looking for? And you need to have that, or you need to get that, is the whole point. Again, another reason why people are more successful in our program because we hire people and we help others hire bookkeepers. We know exactly what they're looking for. So everything we take them through, which is about what I'm about to explain to you, is the reason why we do. Okay, because that's not to say that every single person that comes out of our program is perfectly suited for every single bookkeeping job. They're not. It all depends on what they're looking for. Okay. And so, but on the other hand, we know what they're looking for in general, so we try to click as many boxes as we can. Okay. So, as far as what they want. So again, job candidates who possess and perform the bookkeeping skills, experience, procedures communicated. That's the most important thing. That's why it's number one. The second most important thing is they want job candidates who fit into the employer's company culture. In other words, if we hire you, are you going to get along with the people you'll be working with and the environment you're working with? It's kind of funny because we've studied CPA firms for years, especially local CPA firms. And, being an accounting firm, the idea is we want to know what the competition's doing. For your information, we used to be a CPA firm. We no longer are a CPA firm. And by the way, let me spend a second on that. Why? Because we found that when we were hired as a CPA firm, we were doing what every other CPA firm does. We were hiring people fresh out of school, meaning they had the graduate degree, they had the degree, they passed the CPA exam. So we were hiring CPA candidates. But we only work with small businesses. And we soon realized we don't need CPAs. CPAs are trained, and I'm one of them. CPAs are trained to work for major corporations, or they're trained to work for accounting firms, public accounting firms. That's why they're CPAs. And we found that working with small businesses, you don't need that level of education. To be totally honest with you, and myself included, when they graduate with an accounting degree and a graduate degree, if I were to say, here, sit down with this small business and do the bookkeeping, do the payroll, they wouldn't have a clue of what to do, okay? Because that's not what they were trained to do. It's not what I was trained to do. I had to learn how to work with small businesses. So anyway, we soon learned that we don't want CPAs. And so we thought, well, then what are we going to do? So that's how we came up with this program. We came up with this program over 20 years ago, okay? And we just keep improving it, making it more modern, so on and so forth. So the idea was, let's train people to be the exact kind of people we're looking for. In other words, people who can perform public accounting services, but to small businesses, and not necessarily Apple or Microsoft, okay? All right, back to this. And so the third thing is job candidates who are excited about working for the employer's business. Now that's not a huge part. The most important are the first two. I'd say basically you're looking at 90%, 45, I'd say probably 50% on the first one and 40% on the second one. But it is important if you show that, wow, I'd love to work with an organization like that. They are excited about that. But the most important things are the first two. Job candidates who possess and can perform the bookkeeping skills and experience procedures communicated. This is what I'm looking for, and that's what I expect. Okay. Now, if I get resumes, when I set them up, when I personally go through resumes, which I do, I have a stack of resumes. Okay. And it's in the middle. And I look at it, scan the cover letter, scan the resume. And if I don't see the exact things I asked for, they go to my left. If I do see the exact same thing I asked for, they go to my right, meaning they're accepted. The ones on the left, they're gone. When I'm done going through 100 resumes, a vast majority of them are on the left, and I only have maybe 10% left. Then I start going through and spend a little bit more time with them. And by the way, one of the tips we give in our guidebook is that you need to make sure you carefully look at your social media, okay? Because one of the things that I do and everybody else that I know hires bookkeepers does, I'm going to go to your social media and I'm going to take a look at what you're talking about, what you're involved in and what you're doing, okay? And if it doesn't fit who we are and what we do here, then we're not going to hire you. So I throw you out again. Okay, so I narrow it down to where I get a few. So I'm only going to have a few come in, okay, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste their time. So in my mind, the people who are coming in are the ones who meet exactly what I'm looking for. Otherwise, don't waste my time, okay, is the idea. So don't ever pretend you're somebody you're not, Okay. Just be honest with them because you won't get the job otherwise. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's the most important thing. Now let me reel through the rest of this very quickly as far as the way our program works. Program learning objective. We want to produce job candidates who possess and can perform the bookkeeping skills, experience, procedures most bookkeeping employers want. That's what it's all about. Okay. We know what they want. We know ourselves because that's who we hire. And so we prepare you to give them, most of them, what they want specifically. Now, somebody has some specific little niche. Uh, I'm an art dealer. I have an art gallery. I'm looking for somebody who specifically has done accounting for art. Okay, that's going to be kind of tough to do. Okay. But nonetheless, overall, as far as preparing you, we prepare you more than anybody out there, period. Okay, bookkeeper development program steps. So here's what we take you through. Number one, education. And again, think about the CPA process. Number one, education. Number two, certification. Number three, training. Number four, experience. Number five, job search program. And number six, support. So let me quickly go through the rest of these. So as far as job education, our education courses develop your bookkeeping, QuickBooks Online, and payroll knowledge and understanding. We take you through, and by the way, these are actual college level courses, okay? These are not ours. We acquire them just like hundreds of other universities and colleges do. The exact same courses that you would take if you were going through an accounting degree. Number one, accounting fundamentals. Number two, QuickBooks Online fundamentals. Number three, payroll fundamentals. Certification. Certification communicates and assures employers of your bookkeeping, QuickBooks Online, and payroll knowledge and understanding. Okay. And so we have our three certifications that go hand in hand with those courses. You do a course, do the certification. Do a course, do the certification. Do a course, do the certification while it's fresh on your mind. So the certifications are bookkeeping certification, QuickBooks Online certification, and payroll certification. Now, as far as bookkeeping and payroll training, now Consortia, and again, we've been doing this for a long, long time now, many, many years. We've always been experts at what we do. If we do bookkeeping, we sit down and grab the best resources as far as hardware, technology, programs, applications, etc. And then we'll write a guidebook, our own personal guidebook on it. And we'll go through every single step of the bookkeeping process or the payroll process, etc. Okay. And so we develop these guidebooks. And so they're step by step, what do you do on Monday? What do you do on Tuesday? What do you do on Wednesday? How do you do it? What should you look for? What should you, that kind of thing. It's a very detailed guidebook. So you learn best practice bookkeeping and payroll with QuickBooks Online processes, procedures, and steps. Now, Consortia training guides, and that's what I'm talking about. So here, you're introduced to our Bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online guide, and you're introduced to our Payroll with QuickBooks Online payroll guide. Again, these are the guides that we've written. Okay, so we take you through that experience, to take you through that training. Now, then what happens is once you have that training, we now want you to have hands-on experience, okay? So bookkeeping and payroll experience. Apply best practice bookkeeping with QuickBooks Online and payroll with QuickBooks Online payroll processes, procedures, and steps under the direction and supervision of a licensed certified public bookkeeper or a CPB. In other words, an accounting manager with Consortia is the whole point. Okay, these are experienced people, be very helpful to you. We do a survey for every single people who goes to this program, and we have never, ever had a negative review on this. Never. Okay. All right. Now, bookkeeping job search assistance. So once you go, and by the way, the experience is month to month. And if you stay with our program, the idea is the first 3 months, we're going to focus on bookkeeping. The next 3 months, we're going to focus on payroll. And then we want you to keep doing that until you obtain your job. You actually, our guide, which I'll tell you about in a second here, our job assistance program actually gives you a template and shows you how you do your resume by going through our steps. So when you go through our experience, you're going to put on there, you work for Consortia Small Business Accountants. assistance. And you're going to tell them exactly what you did, okay, and that kind of thing. And so in other words, if you're with us for 3 months, you'll say that you started this month and completed this month. But what we try to do is have you in the program while you're still going through you're still looking for a job, in other words. So in other words, the idea is it's going to say you started on January 1st and until current, okay? So the idea is, which is perfectly fine because that's what you're doing. You're literally working for an accounting firm, okay? And so it shows the experience you have, and not just experience, but experience working with a national accounting firm, okay? And so anyway, as far as bookkeeper job assistance, Consortia provides bookkeeping job search assistance, which includes job search guide, steps, videos, templates, and support. So as you go through this actual experience, we also want you to want you to start looking for a job. Now, the truth is this. In the first 3 months to 6 months, you're going to have a hard time because you only have 3 or 6 months experience. But the more you stay with us, the longer experience you have, the more valuable you are. The education helps you, the certification helps you, the training helps you, and the experience helps you tremendously. Okay, so in other words, it's not as impressive to see somebody went through a 3-month program. But if you've gone through you've been with them for 6 months, you've been with them for a year type of thing, which you're allowed to do, you get more and more marketable. Because again, these days, unfortunately, many people want experience and they want them to have at least, a year of experience, for example. On the other hand, the type of experience matters. The fact you've been working with a national accounting firm makes a tremendous difference, okay, as working with some small business, et cetera. Okay, so then what happens is once you get employed and you retain your NACPB membership, we will continue to support you. So as you get into the job, the idea is if you ever have any bookkeeping, payroll, or QuickBooks Online questions, and again, most small businesses will be using QuickBooks Online, especially now that QuickBooks Desktop is dead, okay? Then the idea is that we provide bookkeeping, payroll, and QuickBooks Online support to members who completed our bookkeeping job program. Support is provided by Consortia educated, experienced, and licensed professional bookkeepers, payroll processors, and accountants. So actually, you'll have a job doing bookkeeping, but you'll know that you always have somebody that has your back if you ever hear any questions. You don't have to call their CPA, okay, if they have one. You can call us and we'll make sure and we give you every bit of good advice, if not better than what you'd get from a typical CPA, okay, because we specialize in small businesses. Okay, now, if you want more information on the bookkeeping job program, go to certifiedpublicbookkeeper.org on the homepage, scroll down, you'll see some cards there. One of them says get a bookkeeping job. Select that one and it'll take you to our get a bookkeeping job page. And that'll give you what I've talked about, but more detail. At the same time, if you've gone through the page, you still have questions, then after visiting our website, email us at info@certifiedpublicbookkeeper.org, or you're welcome to text us. You'll notice on our website in the bottom right-hand corner, you can text us at 224-328-3447. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, again, please contact us. Have yourselves a wonderful day.